as the unforgettable catastrophe that was 2020 finally, not so mercifully, comes to a close, those left with any hope have their sights set on 2021 being a better year. For a lot of people, the change of the calendar year often calls for the making of New Year's resolutions. For a lot of people, that means quitting smoking or taking up a new diet. But what does it mean for our beloved Minnesota Timberwolves? Let's talk New Year's resolutions. Only 1 week into the new campaign, and the Wolves are already amongst the most injury-stricken teams in the league. And in a conference as tight as the Western Conference, a few down weeks can harshly affect the outlook of a team, especially in a condensed season where games are closer together than usual. Karl-Anthony Towns suffered a dislocated wrist in only our second game of the season, and he's expected to miss several games after already missing 2. Frankly, our ability to win with Karl is already in question. Without him, we are without a doubt a bottom-tier team in the NBA. Our substitutes for Towns are Naz Reid and N. Davis, who, while they can certainly perform in support roles, can't be expected to make contributions on Cat's level. Let's hope we can keep this ship afloat until Towns returns and he can remain healthy on the other side of this wrist injury. I think this meme from the Timberwolves subreddit really encapsulates what we're dealing with here. Josh Okogie has also picked up a hamstring injury. We'll be talking about him a little bit more a little bit in the video, but here's hoping his absence is brief, as our defense has looked absolutely abysmal in his absence. Anthony Edwards has impressed in his first 4 contests for the Wolves. Coming off the bench for each game, he has been the focal point of our offense from our bench squad. Putting up 15 a game through his first 4, Edwards has carried himself with confidence and aggression. The Wolves' resolution for Edwards needs to be to incorporate him into the starting lineup. I predicted Edwards coming off the bench in the preseason, and I think it's justified. With an abbreviated preseason, Edwards had very little time to prepare and adjust to the NBA. This should only be a transitional phase, however. To sharpen Edwards' skills to his maximum potential, he needs to be running up against the brass of the league. Even if he's not ready to try to score on Kawhi or defend LeBron, he'll be better for having the experience. This, other than the Towns injury, has been the headache of the season so far. Before I get into this, let me just say I am aware it's only been 4 games and these guys could still very easily turn around their seasons, but I've got to call it like it's been so far. Jake Layman has been a total dud so far this season. He's averaging 3.5 points so far this season, and 10 of the 14 points he has scored all year came in 1 game. Layman's hustle has not been a game changer, and he has not helped us on either side of the ball. Layman came off the bench in our 4th game after a train wreck 3 starts, and it's probably gonna stay that way. Juancho, frankly, hasn't even looked like an NBA caliber player through 4 games. Juan has 8 points through 49 minutes of play. He's pulling in just over 3 rebounds per game, and his shooting percentages are 17.6 from the floor and 10% from 3. I am really hoping for a major turnaround for Juancho, but right now he doesn't even look like he should be on the roster. Nonetheless, taking minutes away from any human who can walk and jump and preferably dribble or maybe hit a layup or do anything that's basketball related. Wow. That was negative, and I'm sorry you had to hear that, but it's how it's been so far this year with Juancho. In our season opener, Josh Okogie was technically listed as our 3, but he spent a majority of the night defending Blake Griffin, and in an era of positionless basketball, I'm not too worried about the exact designation. Okogie's currently nursing a hamstring injury, but I think, as of right now, my ideal Timberwolves lineup would actually have Okogie at the 4. Sliding him down opens up the 3 spot for Edwards, and I think this lineup actually makes sense for a healthy Timberwolves team. D'Angelo Russell and Beasley as the guards, Edwards and Okogie as our forwards, and Karl Anthony Towns as the center. And something that may present a solution in an exciting development and something I discussed in the preseason, Jarrett Culver actually got a start at power forward in our game against the Clippers. He did manage an incredibly impressive 0 of 10 shooting night, not putting the ball in the cup even a single time. On the bright side, he did manage to pull in 10 rebounds, and even though he was a total net negative on offense, he did provide some decent defense and chipped in a bit of hustle. Culver was off to a decent start before this stinker of a game, so I don't want to be too negative, but it seems like any person labeled as a power forward on our roster instantly gets stinkitis. Well, except for one man. In the Wolves-Clippers game, there was not very much for Wolves fans to be excited about, as Ricky Rubio very bluntly stated, "We are way worse than 2-2. A 23-point loss that felt like a 70-point loss. The Wolves got embarrassed on both sides of the court. We looked like we didn't want to be there. Our offense didn't put anything together, and our defense seemed entirely disinterested. Except for Vando. Seeing the doors open in front of him as Layman and Juancho stink it up, Vando had a solid performance. And I don't want to get too excited about 9 points, but he did also grab 6 boards and showed some defensive ability, getting a block and a steal as well. I'm definitely overreacting, but hey, it's New Year's, and one of my Timberwolves resolutions is to give Vando some freaking minutes. I think the guy's going to be able to help us out. Certainly a lot more than Layman and Juancho so far this season. A lot of this video has felt fairly negative because New Year's resolutions is typically about fixing what's going wrong. So I do want to take a quick moment to reflect on the fact that I think D'Angelo Russell is playing some solid basketball, except for that stinker against the Lakers, and I think Malik Beasley's living up to his contract so far. And it looks like they've worked out a deal that he will ultimately serve some time during the off-season, as he pled guilty to threats of violence and the charges for the drugs were dropped. So hey, that's something going our way. Between the two of them, I think they're putting together a pretty fearsome offensive backcourt. But it's not a winning one, certainly without Karl Anthony Towns in the front court. I don't think it says a lot about us that I just referred to our player pleading guilty to threats of violence as something going for us. But, hey man, at least we're going to have him for the rest of the season. And I'm just trying to stay cheerful and hopeful for the Wolves in 2021. Do you have any resolutions for the Wolves? What big adjustments do you want to see us make? Personally, I'm pulling for some sort of a trade. I don't exactly know what it looks like, but I don't think our roster is in its final form, depending on where our record is at as we enter the trade deadline. But anyways, let me know in the comments. Do you have a trade in mind? Do you think there's a big lineup adjustment that can be made? Let me know. My personal New Year's resolution is to keep this channel growing and keep making it better and better. So why not give me a hand with that and subscribe? But either way, subscribed or not, stay lit, and thanks for watching.